Hi everyone, we are here today to answer some of the questions that you submitted last week with regards to our Red Scholarship application. And Bella, who's our marketing intern, will join me in answering those questions for you guys.
So the first question is, will GPA and ACT score have a major overall impact?
So GPA requirement is a 3.0 unweighted GPA. So that is a main requirement. Anything above a 3.0 works. ACT score is required. If you take the SAT, you can submit that score and then we just convert it into an ACT score. But both of them, like I said, the GPA is definitely required. ACT is just a requirement for us to know where you're at academically. So an example that we like to give is if it's an engineering student who has an 18 ACT or an 18 score on his math, we know that they're going to need additional help with their math. So that's kind of what we utilize it for. But our scholars range anywhere from a 17 all the way up to a 33, 34 ACT.
Okay, so the second question is, what are the topics for the essays?
Sure. So there are two essays that are going to be required for the application. The first one's an autobiography, and that's just where you get to tell us more about who you are, what makes you you, how you stand out, why you want this scholarship, what your hopes and dreams are with regards to your education. And then the second one is the time where you overcame an adversity. So just make sure that whenever you talk about, what you went through, talk about what you learned, how you overcame it, what resources you utilized. Don't just tell us like, hey, this happened and I'm over it. Tell us a little bit more so we understand how you as a person pushed yourself and showed that grit, determination, work ethic that we look for.
Third question, what's a good ACT score to be considered?
So like I mentioned earlier, it is a requirement, but there's not a specific ACT score that we look for. So just make sure that you do your best. I would recommend that you try to take it a couple times if you're not happy with your score, mostly because the universities do utilize that score for like merit scholarships and things like that. So you want to make sure that, you just don't settle for, an average, whatever that score is that you're like, okay, I'm done taking it. Make sure that you do push yourself and encourage, we encourage you to make sure that you take it.
So is everything going on with the FAFSA? How do they know if they're Pell Grant eligible?
Sure. So the FAFSA application won't be opening until December officially, but for the Red Scholarship, we're opening from October 1 to December 1. So what we're asking students to do is to utilize the FAFSA estimator to find out if they're going to be Pell Grant eligible. So an estimated amount is all we need, just to know that you will be, eligible for that once the application opens. And if you do become a finalist, we will ask you to submit what's called a FAFSA submission summary, which is the official FAFSA report stating the amount that you will be getting for your Pell Grant.
So what if they don't have a lot of involvement or leadership in school?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know a lot of students, have to work or they're not able to work or, get involved in their school because of other, requirements or responsibilities that they have. So what we recommend is just, try to think outside the box. If you're not involved in school because you have to work 40 hours to help your family, whatever it may be, make sure that you list your work, because work is involvement, work is leadership, work is, giving back, community service, working on a team, different things like that. And we are looking for students who aren't necessarily the 4.0 student involved in, president of 5 organizations. We're just looking for students who they care about their education and they care about their community and themselves and are willing to, pour into themselves.
Yeah.
And just want to give back. And that's the student that we're looking for.
Yeah. And then finally, which is a really good question to end on, how can I best prepare to have a good application?
Sure. So start early. Don't wait till the last minute. We recommend that you spend at least 1 month preparing for the application to make sure that everything is well. Those essays are super important to us because, like I said earlier, we get to know who you are as a person. So make sure you get creative. Make sure that you're not telling us like, hey, I'm involved in all these things when we already have that, in a separate part of the application. Use those essays to tell us something different that we don't know about you. Same with the recommendation forms. Make sure that you ask 2 people that know you well inside the classroom, at school, in the community, to give us a different perspective on what you're looking for. And yeah, like I said, spend some time, get those essays proofread, reach out to Red Scholars like Bella. They're great resources for you because it is a big deal. It's a big application. It's a full ride up to $100,000. So we know that it's a lot of work and we want to make sure that you're as best prepared as you can be to apply. So yeah. Awesome. We look forward to your application.